they went back-to-back to win 2 national championships, the last 2 for the SEC. Tim is 8-4 on opening day at the World Series. And 8-3 all-time against Mike White in their head-to-head matchups. And we are underway. Opening day here in Oklahoma City, and Ashton Maloney will step in. Her 14 hits during the NCAA tournament, more than anybody else that's here.
Ton of speed, ton of short game. She's going to come in, analyze the defense. Really that left side, that's where she works, kind of creating angles with that slap game. Can bunt as well, hit away. 436 batting average. She is a key cog at the top of this lineup.
She and Henry really good at getting on base. Scott and Atwood really good at bringing them home. As always, Michelle, that strike zone that they give to the pitcher is going to be critical with all these big bats on both sides.
Absolutely, and you're figuring it out in that first inning. Is it going to be high? Is it going to be low? Am I going to get the corners?
Almost everything middle away right now to Maloney. She does a great job inside outing the ball. So anything that comes inside half, that's what she wants. So right now they're really trying to work the edges away.
Here's the 1-2. Chopped to short, and a good charge by Riley Holtorf. 1 down. Had some rain overnight. Downpours at times, but you were down on the field earlier, Jess, and everything looks pretty good on the grass.
I always worry about the outfield because that's the one thing that doesn't get covered, where all the rain from the tarp gets dumped, and it was dry out there, which is good news for the outfield.
Expecting capacity crowds again this year here in Oklahoma City, which will also be the site for the Olympic Games in 2028. Here's Caden Henry, the sophomore. With a 500 on-base percentage so far in the postseason.
She's the fastest on the team. We talked about the speed of Ashton Maloney. Caden Henry right there with her. 30 stolen bases on the year.
Yeah, the top 2 table setters are all about getting on base, moving around, and then they have the big boppers.
Wow. And a punch out for Rothrock, 2 down.
And Rothrock, second consecutive batter that she got up 0-2, and then she just gets to play. This is a screwball in the outer half, and look at the way that Jocelyn Erickson is going to frame it up. 0-2 pitch. You got to go get that, especially early in the game. Really good rotation. You can see the screwball spin on that. First strikeout for Rothrock.
Here comes Mia Scott, playing now in her 3rd World Series with Texas, her 250th career start. Announced yesterday as a second-team All-American selection. Has only struck out 8 times all year. Impressive for a power hitter.
It's her hands. Best hands in the game. She's got a lot of power, but she can get beat, and then those hands will make up for it.
Little dribbler out in front, and Rothrock airmails it down the line, and the backup by Shoemaker out at right, and Mia will hold at first. Infield hit with 2 outs.
Swinging butt, show off the speed. Mia Scott, this might go down as a hit because I think she might have beat it out anyway. Yes, it does go out as a hit, and this is not the intention, obviously, the miss hit, but it works out for a base runner here with 2 outs.
And here comes Reese Atwood, the best slugger in Texas history. Just a junior and already tops the career home run list, and just a couple shy of being #1 in runs batted in.
She's just so complete. It's hard to get anything past her.
And you know, Jess, sometimes when you have that home run swing, one of the challenges is patience at the plate, because opponents are going to try and pitch around you, and she's figured that out too.
She talks about celebrating walks, and you see a lot of power hitters. They understand that. They understand pitchers are going to pitch around him. Reese Atwood isn't that hitter. She wants to swing the bat. In fact, they're doing it right now. That last pitch was not a strike. She's battling it off. She wants to hit, and that's been something she's struggled with this year, is taking her walks as well.
Foul that back up in our direction.
And that's typically where she's so strong, is people try to get underneath her hands, and we have seen her hit the ball a long way on pitches up and inside to Reese Atwood.
Swing and a miss. And a couple of strikeouts for Rothrock. Texas will strand one. Gators picking up the bats when we come back.
Sophomore Keegan Rothrock showing why she's one of the best pitchers in the country. That multi-level rise ball is smoking 2 strikeouts in the inning.
Capital One. So they have a lot of home run hitters. Now, 2, 3, and 4, well, you would expect to see those guys bashing. But how about the other 3 closer to the bottom? This is how deep their lineup goes. Brown, Williams, and Cahalan also with double-digit homers. And that's why it is tough sledding for opposing pitchers. Tegan Cavan did beat them twice during the regular season, as they took 2 of 3, and Cavan's pitch device is not working.
I think she forgot it. It's missing.
That would
All right,
make it not work.
her nerves may not be working just yet. And
Just
Patty Ruth Taylor coming out to share that
Start
with
your
her.
day with a smile.
That's right.
Normally very stoic and serious.
All right, so how about an all-American matchup right out of the gate with Cavan against Kendra Falby? And as Florida fans know, finally getting her just desserts, her first All-America honor, believe it or not, with how good she's been during her 4-year career in Gainesville. Top 5 all-time in hits, stolen bases, and runs scored.
Tim Walton told us yesterday when we asked him, how do you beat Texas? And he said, we have to score first. Asking all the Florida players we talked to, how do you guys score first? They said it's all about Kendra Falby. She gets on and scores in that first inning, we win.
Yeah, he talks about our leadoffs on, their leadoffs off. Well, they did that in the top half of the inning. Senior out of Odessa, Florida. Little short game. Scott with the scoop. 1 down as we take a closer look, Michelle, at Tegan Cavan.
She can attack you multiple ways. She's going to go outside to righties hard, 70 miles an hour. But it's her ability to mix speeds in the low 50s, and the rise ball at the top of the zone is where she gets a lot of that swing and miss. Really good rotation on that pitch. In fact, she throws it about 56% of the time. So it's that multi-level rise ball. It's a drop, so she gets that vertical separation. And that really good changeup that helps set up those hard pitches, and she'll throw that changeup in any count.
So in steps Taylor Shoemaker, the National Freshman of the Year and the first ever freshman first-team All-American at Florida. And you think of all the great players that have come through there that won national championships and SEC titles. She's doing something that has not been done before, and she's already tied for their home run and RBI single-season records. Not just for freshmen, for everybody at Florida.
It's amazing.
And she leads all of Division I with RBIs, and she's in the 2-hole. So that means you're not getting a ton of opportunities, but when she does, she hits them in.
There's just the ease about her. Even when we speak with her, she's just confident. Silky swing.
Yes. She's big into the short game most of her high school days. And that's why her swing, you guys, it's so unique, because she's a power hitter, but because she grew up with the short game, her swing's very much inside out. Her hands stay inside the ball for so long that she can adjust to almost any pitch thrown to her.
And adjust is the right word, right? Because people found a hole in that swing earlier this year, and she's fixed it.
They just came inside right there, and that's a good example of her fouling that off the third base side on them attacking her in. That was kind of the blue zone, the hole, and where teams would attack her. It's up and in.
And it was Texas that found it in that first SEC series.
7th pitch of the at-bat coming. And Shoemaker draws the one-out walk.
And that's the other thing she does so well, is that she's able to take those walks. 41st walk of the year.
Base runner now for Reagan Walsh. Tim Walton calls her the most underrated player in America. Loves the big stage. Is already #2 all-time in runs batted in for Florida, with the 14 home runs as well this year.
Okay.
356 average for her this season with runners on base. And a conversation, Atwood wants to talk to Kavan.
On that last pitch, Reese Atwood was actually set up more middle away, and the pitch ended up in. Doesn't allow Reese to be able to frame it up the way she wants, so some early misses.
These two have been a terrific battery now for the last 2 years running. Kavan back-to-back 20-win seasons to start out her career at Texas.
I love that a hitter's count, and Kavan comes right back with a changeup. A little fast at 58 miles an hour, but that shows the confidence she has in that pitch.
And now 3-1. Right back to Teagan, over to first. And that'll move Shoemaker into scoring position now with 2 outs.
It's also telling me Teagan Kavan's got some nerves flowing, because that was an easy turn to 2. Not necessarily double play, but get the lead runner out. She wanted nothing to do with it. They were yelling too. She just wanted to get the easy out.
Yeah, absolutely, Jess. And, you know, lead runners, getting them out at this level of play is optimal. You've got to have it.
That'll give Jocelyn Erickson a chance to bring Shoemaker in. Junior from Phoenix. First team All-American last year. She won some National Player of the Year honors and was terrific here at the World Series for Florida. Already has a national championship ring from her freshman season at Oklahoma before heading to Gainesville last year. Kavan being very careful. 70 miles an hour with her velo, Michelle. Where would you like that changeup to be? Closer to 55, 52?
Even a little lower.
Yeah.
Typically 48 to 52 miles an hour when you're throwing high 60s to 70 miles an hour. Just so that you have enough separation between those two velocities. Otherwise, sometimes some hitters can get caught leaning and just keep that barrel in the zone long enough to catch up with that slower changeup.
It's another 3-ball count to Erickson, who does have a home run, has driven in 6 so far in the NCAA tournament. Florida rolled through the regionals, had a stumble against Georgia in the supers, but were able to survive and advance. Right back to Kavan, who's able to knock it down and go to first. Runner stranded for both teams early, scoreless at the Women's College World Series.
Pregame, where she stands, then her 2 center fielders on either side can position themselves, because they also know how much ground that Kendra Falvey can cover.
Well, and Holly, you see her checking out the wall right there. So not just knowing her distance from second, obviously knowing where the wall is. She told us yesterday, she's like, you guys, I can take my eyes off the ball for seconds at a time to be able to make sure I know where that wall is so I can get up and rob some home runs. That is impressive.
And I love the way that she even said, it doesn't matter what park I'm in. It basically is all the same as KSP going back to their home park, even though they're here at Devon Park. Yeah, she knows her positioning.
So she's out there with a good look behind pitcher Keegan Rothrock to face 5, 6, and 7 here for Texas. What would you do, Jess, entering a new ballpark or one that you're not as familiar with?
I've never heard the second base thing. It was always about, I need to know exactly how many steps to the wall. And so I would always count steps on a run back to the wall to make sure, especially with the warning track too. How many steps are in the warning track? Because that's the thing with softball. Sometimes it's a fake warning track, meaning it's turf, so it's not actually telling your feet anything. Sometimes it's short, and you only get 1 step. Here in Oklahoma City, it's 2.5 before you hit the wall.
And of course, you were an Olympic left fielder for the United States, which is a little easier, right, than center field? Am I correct in that assumption?
Jab, jab.
Here's Jolie Mitchell. Taking a look at a strike, 2-2. Jolie is the grad student from Rosebud, Arkansas. Gets a hold of that, and nobody's going to catch that one in a Florida jersey. Solo shot to open up the scoring for the Longhorns.
Jolie Mitchell. I mean, and this is getting passed down in the 5-hole behind Reese Atwood. She had talked about being able to understand a part of the plate. And in this case, she knew Keegan Rothrock was going to come middle in. And that's exactly what she's looking. Look at where the pitch location is. It's going to be that kind of screwball spin that sits middle, coming into her hand. She's up in the front of the box, and she knows it immediately. Bat flip, eyes to the dugout. Beautiful swing, and no doubt about it, out to left.
15th for Mitchell, and a 1-0 Texas lead. That's a good sign for the Longhorns. 39-2 when they score first this year. And I think it's time for us to toss out one of our favorite stats on opening day. 90% of the national champions in the last 40 years started out by winning game 1. As Stewart gets hit by the pitch. If you lose today, only 4 teams have ever come out of the loser's bracket to win the title. As we go back to that home run swing from Jolie.
Well, and this is a 68-mile-an-hour pitch, so a little bit slower, and she's able to get that barrel out. Reacts, you know it. 15th home run of the year. Power through the middle for Texas. 4, 5, and 6 is where they do a lot of damage.
Here is Leanne Good coming in, riding a 6-game hitting streak that includes 3 home runs and a batting average north of 500. All the while playing second base and shortstop. They've been trying to figure out their shortstop situation. It was good for most of the season, and then she moved to second. Katie Stewart came in from left field to play short, and then they switched it back during the supers.
In the middle of the game.
Yeah.
Ball.
Mike White just staring down Keegan Rothrock, looking at grips.
He's a good pitch picker, and already some activity in the Florida bullpen. Olivia Miller there on the left, Kara Hammock on the right.
And you can tell that Texas is off. They're looking for arm side pitches. The home run that Mitchell hit, that was her first swing of that at bat. So it was strike, ball, ball, strike. She didn't swing at anything until she got the pitch she wanted.
Yeah. She was up in the front of the box, too.
That was a screwball. Good, pops it up right side. And in foul territory, Reagan Walsh has it, 1 down. Longhorns are hoping to peak here at the World Series, where a lot of them have been now. This is the third trip in the last 4 years. They had a rough go down the stretch. We're a 500 team most of April and into May. Got smoked by Texas A&M at the SEC tournament, and then really showed good Texas fight in their super regional showdown with Clemson, which was a barn burner in Austin.
And they said after that Texas A&M game, they really had to get together and have a meeting. Really work on communication on a lot of stuff to get back to how they were playing.
Yes.
A time-honored tradition like no other in softball. Folks, get the home run ball.
Mom and Dad.
Snap throw down, the tag, and Stewart dives back in.
Two of the best catchers in the game in this one. To Jocelyn Erickson from the left-handed. You don't see that very often. Reese Atwood on the other side.
Here's Adea Wallace, a surprise starter as a DP. And breaking news right now from Holly Rowe.
Well, Jolie Mitchell's parents just got that home run ball, and it's such a fun story. She told us that when she started playing, because all of her friends were, her dad didn't really want to get into it. He wanted to spend his summers fishing and hunting. And finally, the mom said, hey, listen, our daughter sucks. You better step up and help her. Those are her words, not mine. Her words. And so Dad was like, oh, all right. So he has been helping her all these summers, being a softball dad. But he does have a fishing trip planned, so he's going to be driving back and forth between Oklahoma City and Missouri. But at least they'll have the home run ball with them to do so.
I think he's already got the best catch of the weekend right there.
There you go.
Oh, Beth.
You're welcome.
That's awesome.
You're welcome. Doctor of letters. What a big moment right here, too, for Adea Wallace. This is just her 6th at-bat of the season. Mike White said he wants some speed. Can she get on base and utilize that?
6th at-bat of the season. I mean, this 62 games, 63 right here, and she's got that split grip, obviously all short game. He wants to challenge Florida's defense, mix in some more speed. This has been the part of the lineup that has struggled.
She's putting in some work here. Ninth pitch of the at-bat. And take strike 3. And the strike them out, throw them out, and they're going to get Stewart. Trying to advance to second base, and that will end the inning. But a run up and a big one for Texas.
How about the senior, Jolie Mitchell, 15th home run of the season, getting it done. I love that she was hunting for something inside. She got it, hitting it out of here. Texas up 1-0. Let's go. AUSL launching next weekend in Rosemont. And you think about what just happened this morning, you guys. The biggest news in our pro softball history. Rob Manfred, the commissioner of Major League Baseball, has announced that Major League Baseball will now be backing and partnering with the AUSL. You guys, this is massive. We've never seen Major League Baseball support the amount of players coming from this college game into our pro league. Big news this morning.
Yeah, we've tried in the past to get it going. This feels different as we build towards the Olympics in 2028, and you get the vibe that they want to use the Olympics as well as a springboard, just like the WNBA did back in the late 90s, to really jumpstart their pro league.
It's time. We need it here in the States. You know, a lot of our best athletes go to Japan.
We need some stadiums, right?
Yes, we need
softball
facilities.
specific, because we need the dirt and we need the smaller dimensions.
Yeah. Oklahoma City has stepped up for the sport of softball.
Yeah.
We need other communities too.
Here's Corby Otis. Mia Scott will cut it off at third. One down. Overcast skies here in Oklahoma City. The first of our 4 games coming your way. Oklahoma, Tennessee is up next. And here's Ava Brown, their two-way star. Has not pitched as much of late, but boy, is she hitting it. 3 home runs, 7 runs batted in this NCAA tournament.
Ball.
And so far for Tegan Cavan, keeping it low in the zone. Smitty, 4 ground outs as you check out what Ava's been doing the last 10 games.
Yeah, and keeping it low in the zone and in the park is going to be important because Brown has been bashing in this postseason.
Ball.
You know, she's that multi-tool athlete. She pitches, she can hit, she plays a little bit of defense as well. And trust me, when you're a pitcher, you know other hitting pitchers are getting up. You know you have to be careful.
Tim Walton's called her the glue of this team, the glue of their staff.
Ball.
Well, and she really took on the lion's share of the load when Rothrock was out for those 5 to 6 weeks. I mean, Ava Brown stepped up, and Walton, Coach Walton said it yesterday, we would not be here if it wasn't for Ava Brown.
Ball down.
Ball down. So the walk here to Ava Brown. Hey, the Women's College World Series Finals begin next Wednesday. Best 2 out of 3, and it'll get you going at 8 Eastern on ESPN. For more information, go to ncaa.com. You're home for all 90 NCAA championships as we celebrate the 20th anniversary of the championship series, dating back to 2005 and Michigan's magical run and a win over UCLA. 20 years of amazing memories since then.
That's right.
Also the 10th anniversary of Florida's last championship. Here's Mia Williams. A couple of free passes for the Gators. So far has not hurt Cavan. Williams has the ability to change that with 1 swing. Tried to wait on the off speed.
Williams has been so good this year. Her numbers dramatically changed from last year to this year. The 19 home runs, the power numbers off the chart, the batting average, everything.
It's the confidence. I mean, she just looks like a different hitter in the box. Smitty, to your point, last season, I mean, that is dramatic.
Huge. Just the power. The 6 home runs last year, 19 this year.
Right back to Cavan. This time she will try and turn 2. They'll get the lead runner, and that's it. 2 down. And yet another ground ball.
Well, Cavana's been really throwing that drop ball a lot against the Gators. Obviously knowing the type of power that this club has, 107 home runs on the year. You want to keep the ball in the park. It's harder to hit that drop ball out than obviously the rise ball.
What are you thinking as a hitter like Kenley Cahalan right here?
Well, they've been, you can tell, they're looking for the ball.
She sends it opposite, and Stewart almost made a heck of a play in foul territory.
The biggest thing with Florida right now, and a great effort, by the way, Katie Stewart. I mean, her route to this, she kind of comes around this. I think she thinks it's going to be deeper. See how she's going to the wall, then comes in instead of a straight line. Now, granted, we talked about this. She was playing shortstop for a good 2 months of the year. They moved her to left field just this last week. So when you're facing Cavan, for these Florida hitters, you're thinking rise ball. I know she has a drop. I know she has an off speed, but you're thinking rise. And because of that, you want to see something down in the zone. Now that's what Cavan is giving them. But what are they doing? They're driving it down in the zone because they're thinking that pitch is going to have up spin.
Well, because they've probably been working all week.
Yes.
Keep your hands up, get on top of the ball. Right, because she does throw that rise ball 56% of the time. The drop ball just 25% of the time. So far in this game, absolutely has flipped those numbers.
If they knew she would be going to the drop more than the rise, and again, we're just first time through the order, they would have a different plane, a different path to the ball. But right now, they've got rise ball swings. They're coming on top of the ball.
Umpire needs more softballs. There's a look at the numbers with the rise and the drop.
She's thrown a lot more drop this year. So that was one of the keys. She was very rise ball heavy as a freshman and took a lot of people by surprise. Knew this year she was going to have to make some changes, worked very hard on that drop ball in the offseason to be able to use it. And Jess, we talk about all the time, you can't, if you can split the zone against a pitcher, you make your job so much easier. Last year you could just look up. This year, there's a lot more zone to protect against Kavan.
There's a 1-2 to Cahalan.
That was impressive.
That was just protect at all costs.
Her whole body struck out, but her hands saved her. Able to foul that thing off at the last possible second.
Yeah, and that's that changeup, 59 miles an hour. It probably needs to be a little bit slower.
Opposite way, and it'll drop foul. .364 this season with runners on base. Both sides looking for that first hit with a runner aboard. 1-0 Texas lead on the Jolie Mitchell solo swat. Cahalan rips that out to center, and Henry well positioned. So another free pass stranded on the bases for the Gators at a 1-0 Longhorn lead. Favorite memory? Favorite moment?
Walking on to the Olympic stage for the very first time in 1996, representing the United States.
When it was here in the U.S.
Absolutely.
Very first time softball was in the Olympics.
Yes.
I remember watching that as a kid, being like, oh my God.
How about yours?
Winning gold in Athens. I mean, I'm a history nerd. And so going back to the original Olympic Games and then winning it, that was pretty powerful. Which is why there were tears in the wreath.
Yes,
Yes.
Tears of joy.
Just
Not only in LA, but there's a great possibility in 2032 as well in
Brisbane.
Australia. Yes,
Correct,
'cause
yes.
they play some good softball. All right, so we told you moments before disaster struck, and
no.
there is the
my God.
completion. Do we know her name? Do we know her name? Or her country at least?
Greece.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Greece.
Yeah.
Yes,
Safe?
that-
Safe?
Yes, that was, my dad had that on a shirt. He's a football coach. He had that on a shirt for like 3 years, and he never changed it. I mean, literally, that was his proudest moment.
I think they still teach that to college football players.
That's called getting to home plate.
Yes. Katie Bennett draws the walk for Texas here to lead off the top of the third. Jolie Mitchell's home run, the only digit up on the board.
Stacy Farnsworth.
There we go. I knew the interwebs would help us with that.
First walk of the game. Given
Who
up
gets
by-
the assist on that? Anybody famous?
That was just AI.
A friend.
You win.
Just a friend. Top of the order, and Ashton Maloney. Let's see if Texas, with their speed, can do some damage.
Walk of the number 9 hitter.
Maloney coming in, riding a 9-game hitting streak. And you know, when you're mentioned with Janae Jefferson, who is with the U.S. national team this summer, Ashton is just 3 hits away from the Texas single-season record held by JJ.
Ball.
Has been lights out with runners on base in the postseason, 7 for 8.
She's got speed. She's got great barrel control.
Sends it down the line, and that'll drop in front of Otis. Hey, we've got Game 5 coming your way. Western Conference Finals in the NHL tonight on ESPN and ESPN+. The Stars hosting Connor McDavid and the Oilers at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Edmonton looking to advance to the Stanley Cup Finals. Coverage begins with the point at 7:30. That's a fair ball right out in front of the dish, and Jocelyn Erickson, the Gold Glove catcher, quick to pop up and make the play to first. Katie Bennett moves into scoring position.
Productive out. That's exactly what you have to have. This is an outstanding play by Erickson to be able to pop out, be able to make this throw with the speed of Maloney getting down the line, and the fact that she's able to make that throw. A good job over at first base by Walsh as well. That's the advantage right there of being a left-handed catcher.
Yeah.
For a right-handed catcher, that would have been a much more difficult throw. She probably wouldn't have had her.
Got a couple of lefty catchers, right? Here at the World Series, and we'll keep a close eye on Ashton Maloney reaching for that right hammy.
Ball.
Their starter out in right field. First chance with a runner in scoring position for the Longhorns. Caden Henry struck out looking at a screwball her first time up. And a slow roller to Cahalan. Nice check of the runner. And over to Walsh at first, 2 down.
This is a great job by Cahalan to be able to get this ball shot at her, and she goes into that 5-6 hole, and her momentum, she takes the look for just a split second to make sure Bennett's not going anywhere. And trust me, it could only be a split second, because you mentioned earlier, Henry, the fastest on this Texas team. Close play over there at first, but a big out.
Well, here come the run producers. Mia Scott singled back in the first. She did not like that pitch call.
It looked like it was below the knees. Off-speed pitch.
She's almost out of the back of the batter's box with that left foot.
She's as far back as possible to be able to read pitches. We talked about how quick her hands are to be able to adjust to just about anything. She loves hitting changeups too, which is why I think she was extra mad.
Inside out swing there to short, and Holtorf stays down on it. A threat for Texas, denied. 1-run game. Opening day of the Women's College World Series.
And we have that format changed just a couple years ago that is conducive for that. So I think there's the opportunity to throw your ace if you stay in that winner's bracket. You get a day off in between games. Little rest, little ice.
Return of the MAC. And it's been a while. Holtorf pops it up, 1 down, and here comes the top of the Florida order. An entire starting 9 that hits over 300 for the Gators, and Falby is their tone setter. On base 62 of 63 games this year. Grounded out her first time up.
This is where Florida and Texas have so much in common. You're seeing a lot of that short game, the speed, top of the lineup. It's kind of gone away from the game of softball. You're seeing power hitters at the top of the order, but Kendra Falby, so good at finding the holes, using her legs.
Scott right there guarding the line, and they take care of Falby her first 2 times up.
She's got to stay away from Mia Scott. I mean, that is an automatic out. The best third baseman in the country. So quick. She made that look easy. She was in Falby's face. Not afraid to get up. Look how close she is. Right there, and she knows she's got to be, can take her time.
And on the line, really challenging her. You know, and that's where you have to trust your pitcher, knowing that pitches are going to be on the outer half, almost asking her just to play pepper with that left side of the infield.
Here's Taylor Shoemaker, walked back in the first. Sends that one deep. Back towards the track, and Henry able to step back in with plenty of room. 3 complete. Holly will chat with Tim Walton on the other side.
I love what he said there, because that is a difference of where softball, the game, has gone. Tim Walton saying it's not just about making contact, it's about hitting the ball hard, finding a pitch that you can drive.
6 ground outs, 3 flyouts so far against Cavan, and now it's back to work for Keegan Rothrock against Reese Atwood, jumping right in against the All-American catcher. 4, 5, and 6 coming around. On deck is the home run hitter, Jolie Mitchell.
She's got those long legs, those long levers. The way she gets in the batter's box, her stance. Likes to be very, very wide. It also minimizes a lot of that head movement. She can get real jumpy. We talked about how much she loves to swing the bat. It's hard to walk her. You see her up 2-0 right now. But see how wide she is, how low she gets into her legs?
Oh, and that's a miss. That pitch kind of bled back into the zone from outside, coming back into the heart of the plate.
Ball in.
And this is one of the strengths for Reese Atwood. You see where she was as her freshman year till now. I mean, this is dramatically different. Being able to utilize that lower half, not allowing a ton of movement. And that's where I give Reese Atwood so much credit. Minimizing that head movement too, using her legs, but also being able to get those walks because of that new stance.
Draws one there, and here comes Mitchell. Got a hold of a screwball back in the second inning.
Gets a pitch that she's able to take out of the yard. She was hunting that pitch. She did not swing the bat until she got that fifth pitch of the at-bat. Hunts it, drives it out of the yard. And this is a change too, because it was Katie Stewart who was hitting behind Reese Atwood. So Mitchell and Stewart have flipped positions at times, protecting Atwood.
Remember the All-SEC team this year? Started out her career in a good one at Notre Dame for 4 seasons. She said, I was watching Texas at the World Series in 2022. I loved how they played. I said, I want to do that. Got her degree in South Bend, hooked up with the Horns.
Well, what she loved about that team, Beth, if you remember, they went 0-5 in Clearwater to start the season. Yes. Everyone's saying this is one of the worst Texas teams we've seen. Came back to make it all the way to that championship series. And that's when she's like, I want to be a part of that. Not just a good team, but a team that knows how to fight. Holly?
Well, after Texas had struggled a little bit late in postseason, there was a players-only meeting, and they said they really talked it out. The infield had a tough meeting, and she actually stood up and said to them, listen, the communication, the fight, the way I saw you guys interact with each other, that made me want to come here. We've got to get back to that, and they have.
Yeah, they come here this year as one of the favorites. That team a few years ago was unseeded and made it all the way to the championship series. The only time that's happened in the sport's history. Mike White and the Horns too often run into Oklahoma here during the Sooner dynasty. And short, nice scoop for one, and the turn by Williams almost got her, but Mitchell safe at first as they erase Reese Atwood.
Well, that's just knowing your defense behind you, because Rothrock looked like she was going to go after that ground ball. You can see she's going to get her glove out and goes, no, I'm going to pull back because I know the whole Horf is going to be there. Nice flip over to Nia Williams. Look at that. Nice job. And a good throw down the first. Don't get the double play, but good job getting and eliminating that lead runner.
Here's Katie Stewart, hit by a pitcher first time up.
And as a pitcher, it's so important to know.
Split second, right?
Yeah, you got to know where your middles are. You got to know if your second baseman is in that 3-4 hole or up the middle. Same thing with the shortstop. Is she in the 5-6 hole? If she is, you got to go for that ball. If you know she's up the middle, you let it go.
You have to swallow your ego in the circle?
No, you say I'm using those other 8 people around me.
Democratic. Somebody else do it. There you go.
Pitchers with egos?
No way.
No.
Stop it.
Come on. There's just a circle around them.
It's a halo. Come on.
Stewart off the end of the bat. Holtorf over to first. And I'm not sure if she was aware of the out count there. Did she think she wasn't going to be able to get Mitchell at second?
Yeah, to me that reads, I don't know the out count, because this is a double play in my opinion, because Stewart is a right-handed hitter, so this is going to be a slow roller. She has plenty of time to go to Williams, who is sitting there on second base. So I think that's a mental mistake on the defense for Florida.
2 down. Here's Leanne Good. Neither side has mustered a hit with a runner on base yet today. 0 for 12 combined. Rothrock Rothrock, since the home run, has given up some free passes, but not a hit in the last 2+ innings. Beautiful look back at Devon Park. And this Women's College World Series, 3 former champs are here, including the Gators. A couple of first-timers will go head-to-head later today, Texas Tech and Ole Miss.
You can see the Sooner fans already here for the game after this one against Tennessee. Sold out.
OU, one of 5 teams with 50 wins this year that are at the World Series. What's missing? The #1 seed, not here. Eliminated in the regionals, Texas A&M. Just the 3rd time in 20 years that #1 didn't make it. The parity around the sport.
Oh.
We'll see if it plays out on this field.
Yeah, unbelievable. And you know, we talked about it all year long. I feel like every year I could pick 7 or 8 of the teams that will be here. This year I was like, I give myself a good 4.
Solid 4. Good. Another ground ball to short. Holtorf to third and sliding in safely. It was not a force play. Is Mitchell.
So that's another slow developing play that needs to go to first, though. Holtorf needs to A, charge this, but B, there's not a whole lot of opportunity to get the runner in Mitchell going to third. She needs to go to first to get that 3rd out of the inning.
So one of the big questions, right, for the Gators this year, how do we replace Skylar Wallace at short? Well, they brought in Holtorf from Washington and Cahalan from Alabama. They now make up the left side of the infield. And a big chance here for Texas to add to the lead. Are they staying with Adea Wallace, who got her first start of the season as the designated player? And I think they're going to go to the bench and bring in Victoria Hunter to hit here in the 8th spot. Mike White told us yesterday in our meetings, it's a rotating spot for us, has been all year. We're just looking for quality at-bats out of the designated player. And good time for one right here for Hunter.
Adea Wallace was about speed. Victoria Hunter's about slug. She's in this moment to get some RBIs, find a gap, even hit it over the wall.
First pitch swing into Williams, and that'll end it. Couple left on. Mike White on the mic with Holly when we come back. Himself a fabulous softball pitcher in his day.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Holly. So they first came to the World Series in 1998. That is the only time they have lost on opening day. 6 straight wins. That's the best record of anybody that's been here at least 5 times. And they have the jump right now on the Gators as we move to the bottom of the 4th. Kavan back out there with her pitch comms in place. And she will go to work against 3, 4, and 5.
Second time through the lineup, see what adjustments the Gators make, and then therefore Kavan.
We talked about Kavan, what a difference it has been for her. Really good when they win, not so good when they lose, inducing a lot of ground balls so far.
6 groundouts.
No strikeouts. I mean, that's been the biggest surprise. Not a ton of swing and miss.
Yeah, she's had a lot of 1-1 ground balls, 0-1 ground balls.
Remember last year here as a freshman, beat Nyjah Kennedy and Stanford twice. And threw 14 scoreless innings in her World Series debut, first time around. Got Walsh to whiff at that. And there is the first strikeout.
She's been using that drop ball really effectively. This one she's going to expand the zone and go on the outer half. That's a curve ball that she starts in the river, and it just keeps and continues to run, and Walsh knows that she's not going to be able to catch up to it, tries to check it but can't. First strikeout of the game for Kavan.
Now against Jocelyn Erickson. Well, this is the place where you make a name for yourself. And Kavan trying to continue her good pitching here at the World Series. Erickson pops it up. 2 down.
Well, and to your point, Beth, Kavan mechanically just looks more solid. I mean, she went through that rough patch the last couple weeks. She was off balance. She was leaning. We asked Coach about it yesterday, and he said, yeah, she's been working on some stuff, working on those mechanics to stay more upright. You got to have that good.
You throw well this week. You can put to rest everything that's happened in the previous few months.
Absolutely.
You know, Texas and Tennessee and Oregon all here fighting for that first national championship. Programs that have been here a bunch before. You think of the great Cat Osterman teams that came here with Texas. Sooners getting the scout on. They play Tennessee next. And then the winners and losers would meet in the next round of games. On the top side of the bracket, the day side. Corby Otis off the glove of Mitchell and trickles out into right.
First
2-out
hit.
base runner.
First hit for these Gators, too. This is what Texas has done a great job of keeping them off the bases. And a beautiful job, by the way. 2 strikes. Corby Otis, they just come in her kitchen, by the way. The pitch before jumped off the plate. Now able to battle something away just off the glove of Jolie Mitchell at first.
See if Florida can build on it. Ava Brown walked in the second. Ava's one of those hitters that likes to square around and get both eyes on the pitcher before she starts into her swing.
Now she's not bunting. Just using it to track the softball. See a few of Florida's hitters do this.
Let's go down to Holly Rowe.
Well, you saw Corby Otis get that hit for the Gators. We have dubbed her the most interesting person in softball. She has already taken the MCAT. She's going into cardiothoracic surgery. And in her off days last summer, she was taking an internship going in to watch heart surgeries. She's graduated with a 4.0. She's applying to medical schools right now, working on her personal statement. But she's also a competitive go-kart driver. She's a drummer, loves the solo by Metallica. Literally anything that's interesting, she knows how to do it. And she said when she was a little girl, her dad would say, the smartest kid wins. So being smart has mattered in her life and her family.
I don't know which was cooler, that she's going to be a doctor or that she loves Master of Puppets with Lars Ulrich.
Definitely the Metallica. And being a doctor, and it's the and doing what she does in a Florida uniform. They said that she'll ask her before they ask ChatGPT any questions because she's quicker at the answers.
Yeah, they have Chat Corby.
Chat KO, we called it.
Looking for a breakthrough. Brown would be one you'd circle.
The 3-0 count. See if she has the green light.
Oh, that would have been a good one to have it on.
Yeah. This is where you have to be careful. 3-1. I'd come back with the changeup in this count. Nice pitch.
He takes a look at 2 strikes.
Kavan throwing that changeup a little harder than normal. That's 58 miles an hour. It's typically in that 54-mile-an-hour zone.
Brown Sends one the other way, and Maloney is under it. Side retired. Florida gets a hit, but not a run up. Pitcher's duel, a lot different than last year when these two teams saw each other in OKC. A run rule win for Texas. Mac Morgan was awesome in the circle. Largest shutout loss in an NCAA tournament game in Gators history. Keegan Rothrock was on the wrong end of that one. Much better this time around. Just the one miss, and that was a screwball that Jolie Mitchell sent out to the bleachers in left field back in the second inning. Here's Katie Bennett. One down for the top of the order for Texas.
The top of the order been very quiet for Texas. We always talk about 1 through 4. Smitty, you talked about it. The open, the 400 acres is dynamic, but it was Jolie Mitchell in the 5-hole.
It's barren thus far.
Yeah. Maloney with those 14 hits.
Holtorf. Oh. She is struggling here the last couple innings. It's short. The one hopper, Walsh unable to scoop it.
Well, that's what speed does. You know, speed puts you in a position defensively to rush, to hurry up. Speed cannot create there, but it can induce it, and that's exactly what's happening right now. Holtorf is just getting sped up in her mind and therefore physically creating some errors. In fact, that's her 11th of the year.
I gave it a hit, but that's an error. Yeah. I'm with you, Smitty.
Yeah.
Especially on the replay, because you see where the runner is. She would have thrown her out. Never mind, they changed it to an error.
And that has been the left side. So that's 21 of the 46 errors on the left side of this Gator infield. And she kind of rolled it. Did you see that? It was deep in her palm, and so she could have had it in the palm, her throwing hand.
A flare into foul territory, and Otis down to her backside to make the catch. 2 outs.
Just leave it to the outies to clean it up. Hit it out to left field. A great read. And see how straight line. We saw it with Katie Stewart. She went to the wall, tried to come in. Now Corby Otis straight to the ball. Little slide to finish.
And now it's Mia Scott. It is a race to see who can get a hit with a runner on base. They are now comboed 0 for 16. For 2 of the best hitting, best scoring teams in the country, it has been Rothrock and Kavan taking charge today.
They've been on point. They've controlled the zone. They have had a couple of free passes, but they've worked around them.
Ball.
Really the one mistake, too, from Rothrock. I mean, it was more of a meteor pitch to Jolie Mitchell, but she has really worked the corners before then and since then.
And that's lifted out to left and a base hit with a runner on board for Texas, and Mia Scott batting close to 400 in her 3 trips to the Women's College World Series as a Longhorn.
She's also close to that with 2 strikes. I mean, look at where she can just get her hands to a pitch up in the zone, a little bit away. But again, this is her 2-strike swing. She's not even using her legs, just her hands. It's another knock on the day for Mia Scott.
Yeah, that's a 1-2 count. Probably needs to be a little more competitive pitch.
Here's the career RBI leader for the Horns, Reese Atwood. Rothrock catching the inside corner.
Big is that home run, too, for Mitchell, because now you've got to throw to Reese Atwood.
A strikeout and a walk for Reese. And a 1-1 count at 71 miles an hour from Rothrock.
This is a situation because in this game, Texas is just 1 for 12 with runners on. They're 0 for 4 RISP.
Ball.
The throw down to Holtorf at short. Not even to the bag at second.
Trying to get Maloney to run on release.
Savvy back there behind the plate. Swing and a miss. 1-2. No, 2-2.
If they come back with the rise ball, that's what they struck her out on in the first inning. Change that eye level. We just saw the change up down in the zone.
Reese batting .625 in the NCAA tournament with a runner in scoring position.
Ball.
To come back, that's a great take. But you saw Reese Atwood call timeout before that pitch, and I think it was an understanding of what was going to come and making sure that you're not swinging at it.
Called strike 3. They got her looking with 2 on. Big out, and strikeout number 4 for Rothrock.
Yeah, Keegan Rothrock nails in a pressure situation against the big bopper for Tennessee. Catches are looking on a count with runners in scoring position. Rothrock loving the call. Ice.
UCLA. Ducks took 2 out of 3 over the Bruins in the regular season. They won the Big Ten championship. Missy Lombardi is back here for the first time as a head coach at Oregon. A long road back for them. And what a rewarding time to be an Oregon Duck. They'll take on UCLA in the nightcap tonight.
Another exciting team with a lot of speed.
20 years since Michigan won the national championship, the only time for a Big Ten school.
Still sounds weird.
Yeah.
Feels like a Pac-12 matchup here at the World Series. It's going to take me a minute.
That's why we call it mayhem.
That's right. Conference realignment. That took a lot of adjusting to.
There's Mia Williams. Bottom of the 5th. Just 1 hit so far for Florida off of Tegan Cavan. A Corbiotis single in the last inning. Cavan not concerned with strikeouts, just 1. Defense supporting her with a lot of ground balls.
It's been that bottom half of the zone that she's been able to control. A lot of drop balls. Vertical break down.
When she's gone up, she's tried to make sure it's out of the zone. Try to get him to chase.
Williams does. It backs up. Scott. Long throw across the diamond and a nice play by Mitchell over there. 1 down. For the Florida Gators here for the 13th time. The comebacks have, not happened a bunch. In fact, just once when trailing after 4 innings, which is the case right now.
This is a bashing team. They hit a lot of home runs. Those kind of swings, and that's what Tim Walton was telling Holly Rowe in the interview in game was just, I don't want you guys making contact. You see all these ground balls. This is not about contact. He'd rather actually see swing and miss with home run type swings than just see him put the ball in play.
Again, it's huge to win on opening day. If you lose, you got to come out of the loser's bracket starting tomorrow night against the Tennessee OU loser. The winner here will play the winner of that game on Saturday afternoon. If you stay in the winner's bracket, you have a day off between each game to advance to the championship series next Wednesday. Two 1 to Cahalan. Kenley lifts that one out to Ashton Maloney as we send it down to Holly Rowe.
Well, stop me if you've heard of a dominant female athlete from Dowling Catholic High School in West Des Moines, Iowa. No, it is not Caitlin Clark. That is where Tegan Cavan grew up, but she actually went to the same high school as Caitlin Clark. She did dip her toe in the basketball pool for a little bit. Caitlin actually coached her on one of the JV teams. I was talking to Caitlin's dad, Brent, and he said, we are so proud of Tegan. She grew up just a few houses away.
That's awesome.
She was a travel ball softball player because high school in Iowa, she was telling us they play over the summer. Yeah. So she actually played with her travel ball team, but played hoops with Caitlin.
And I think
for Caitlin.
Caitlin said that she's a beast. We're like, yes.
I believe that is her words. Yes, her word. So far, that is the case. Here's Holtorf in the 9 spot in the lineup. looking for her second 1-2-3 inning.
Tim Walton told us, as you see that self-talk from Holtorf.
Nice backhand by Scott, and it is 1-2-3 for UT. Will one be enough? It is so far, through 5. Hook 'em on her way home. The solo home run back in the second. The only damage done by either side through 5 innings as we head to the 6th. Opening day at the Women's College World Series. Winner into the winner's bracket Saturday. Loser has to turn around and play again tomorrow night, trying to stave off a 2-and-barbecue trip to the World Series. I'm Beth Mullins, along with Michelle Smith, Jessica Mendoza, Holly Rowe, and our cast of hundreds. Thrilled to be with you again here at Devon Park, bringing you all the sights and sounds. Every pitch from start to finish, possibly through next Friday night.
Ball.
Maybe time for a game 3 in the Champ Series. What do you guys think? It's been a
feels
bit.
that way, but
Been a minute.
definitely feels that way.
Yeah. Well, I don't think there were a lot of sweeps this year in any conference series.
Shoot, just look at Supers last week.
Yes.
At the teams taking it to a game 3, extra innings.
Both of these teams needed a game 3 as Mitchell steps in against Rothrock. Jolie reached on a fielder's choice the second time she came up, and she puts a charge into that one. Falby at the wall, unable to keep it in the yard, and Jolie Mitchell with her second stinger of the game.
Two very different pitches, too. The one she took out to left field was up on the inner part of the plate. This is actually a much better pitch. Low and away. Just barely clearing the wall, too. But, I mean, you just talk about the power. Look at the location of this. Outside part of the plate after she had pulled her previous home run, sends this one straight out to center field. I thought Kendra Walby had a chance to come bring this back just out of her reach. I think it nicked the end of her glove.
8th time for Texas here at the World Series, and no one has done what Jolie Mitchell has done. First time multiple dingers in a game, and it's 2-0.
And that looked like that was a curveball. So after the screwball in the first at-bat she has that she hits out, she goes the opposite way on the curveball. Talk about covering the zone.
Ball in.
What's interesting, too, all of Texas's hitters have been in the very back of the box, except for Jolie Mitchell. She's up in the front. Her back foot was even with the plate, so she's trying to catch the pitches before they break.
Well, and Jess, to your point, when you're hitting pitches that are moving horizontally versus vertically, yeah, you are going to catch them before they really start to bite, before the screwball comes in or the curveball runs away from you.
3-1 to Stewart. And that will get out of play. The last time that Jolie Mitchell hit 2 home runs in a game, she was a Golden Domer from her days at Notre Dame. Stewart sends one opposite, and that one will leave the yard. Back to back for Texas.
How about Katie Stewart going the opposite way? Her 16th home run of the year, gets herself an account and gets a pitch at 70 miles an hour that she can just drive out of the yard.
252 feet.
Oppo. I mean, give me some Oppo power. This is not easy to do. Curveball outside, and she drives it. You guys, that got out of here when she was 3 steps out of the batter's box. First opposite field home run of the season for Katie Stewart, and it's a huge one.
Couple of home runs to start things off for the 6th, and a pitching change coming up for the Gators. out of Frankfort, Illinois. And Keegan Rothrock chased here in the 6th after 100 pitches. 5 hits, but 3 of them left the building. And a 3-0 Texas lead. And I think to a conversation that we had with Katie Stewart recently, said she knows she's got one job to do, and that is do damage. And she just inflicted some right there with that swing. And so Ava Brown will come on for just her 3rd postseason appearance. From the designated player now to the relief pitcher. Leanne Good in the 7th spot in the order.
Ball.
Brown did not throw last week in the Supers, so her couple of innings were in the regional.
Brown's not going to have quite as much velocity. She'll be 62 to 65 miles an hour. She's a little more screwball, trying to get underneath the hands of the righties, run it away from the lefties, but more changeup, and that's really going to be the key, since Texas has been obviously hitting for power.
As Holly was reporting earlier in the ballgame, she has been the glue of this pitching staff. And Tim Walton loves how complimentary she is to Rothrock. They are a good 1-2 punch because of their different skill sets.
That's right. Rothrock more rise ball. Brown is more screwball, changeup.
And will get out of play.
She's not a high spin pitcher. I mean, spin rates are now a huge part of the game, and being able to measure that. So what Ava Brown does a great job of is she has to hit her spots. Her ability to locate is paramount because she's not going to get as much movement.
There's a well-struck ball from Good out to left. And a base runner with nobody out on the heels of the back-to-back home runs from Mitchell and Stewart.
This is a pitch down in the zone. Below the knees. Leanne Good, by the way, hit 500 in the NCAA tournament, has been on fire. Beautiful job going down and getting underneath the pitch.
Yeah, that's a drop ball, but it's right down the chute. If she doesn't let that bleed back into the zone, it was supposed to be on the outer half, but it leaks back into the strike zone, and even though it was low, it gets hammered. It just shows how important it is to keep the ball out of the middle part of the plate.
Vic Hunter stays in the lineup here as the DP, so her second at-bat in the 8th spot in the lineup. Only saw one pitch, a ground out to second base her last time up. Got a good self-talk going right now. Sophomore out of Houston. Whoa, 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 whoa. That was smoked off the bat.
77 miles an hour.
Okay, the Mitchells are hogging the home run balls now. Give that. Nice.
That's awesome.
That will flare out to right from Hunter. 2 aboard. And Texas is really putting Florida in a tough spot here in the 6th.
That's a good job by Hunter, because that's on the changeup, and when you start taking pitches away from your opponent, it makes the whole team's job easier to hit. This is an off speed on the outer half. You can see the over-the-top rotation. Hunter just stays with it. She doesn't try to pull it. She knows it's on the outer half. She barrels it up, puts it on the green. Texas has something cooking here again in the 6th.
Get that off the end of her bat. She's so strong. That was like the last inch and a half of the bat, able to find green.
Wow, and Texas may be forced to make another quick change here. Brown facing 2 batters, a couple of singles, and they will now go to Olivia Miller. So the third different pitcher of the ball game for the Gators. A 3-0 lead here for Texas, all on home run balls. A pair for Jolie Mitchell and one for Katie Stewart. As we welcome you into our broadcast booth here on this opening day of the World Series, Beth Mowins, Olympic gold medalist Jessica Mendoza, Olympic gold medalist Michelle Smith, Holly Rowe is with us as well. Your impression so far of these bats for the Texas Longhorns?
I think just understanding what you're hunting and then being able to capitalize. It was quiet for both teams, and especially Texas, and now they're exploding with their offense.
Well, and I'm impressed with what Kavanagh's been able to do, because in the circle, she's been really strong. She had those rough patches we talked about earlier in the season, but she's been on point today. She's been very balanced and upright, allowing her to really use her spins, and you have to do that at this level.
And without the swing and miss.
Yes.
I mean, that's the thing. You think Tegan Kavanagh, you're thinking strikeouts, but she's getting contact and getting outs.
And defense. She's had very good defense behind her. Mia Scott has just been iron at third base for her. So when you have that cooking, you know, it really makes your job easier in the circle.
And doing it against this Florida lineup, which is one of the best hitting teams in the country. And so far, shut out by Texas.
Well, and I like this move by Tim Walton, because he goes to Olivia Miller, who's a lefty, and she's going to have now 4 left-handed hitters in a row in this Texan lineup. So this is a really good matchup for her.
Katie Bennett in the 9 spot in the lineup. Trying to go to work right away on Miller. 2 2/3 innings of work for Olivia in this NCAA tournament. It's just the 12th relief appearance of the season for her. Bennett dropping it down, trying to put some pressure on the D. And the sacrifice moves 2 into scoring position for the 400 acres. 4 straight 400 hitters coming up for Texas. Scott, Maloney, Atwood, and Henry in order of batting average, not the order they're coming up. Maloney will be the first one to step in. A single season record 446 at Texas.
This is just the part of the lineup. You got Maloney and Henry in the 1 and 2 holes that are just speed, get down the line. Then you have Scott and Atwood that are average in power.
Horns do not have a hit with a runner in scoring position.
Ball.
All their big swings with nobody on base.
Well, it's going to be important for this Florida defense to really be on point. You can see how the middles are going to be pulled well in. They know at this point they have to keep another run off the board.
When Maloney gets hit by the pitch, and they are loaded for Caden Henry.
I think Tim Walton's going to ask if she was swinging. He just cleared that up right now. Gets her back arm. You see her start to come around. She does hold it back. Yep.
'29 RBI on the season for Caden. To the right side, Williams tried to tag and does get the double play. Mia Williams, solid defense with the bases loaded. But prior to that, a couple of home run balls for the Longhorns.
Well, let's not forget what happened at the top of this inning. Jolie Mitchell, that one but 2 home runs off the glove. You don't see that. Kendra Falvey and the Katie Stewart, 80 miles an hour off the bat to right field. That's 2 home runs to put the Horns up 3-zip.
And out to right field. Thank you so much, ladies. Big day around the softball world. This is our first of 4 games. Winner has the day off tomorrow, and they'll play on Saturday against the winner of Tennessee, Oklahoma. The loser will face the loser of that game, and they got to come right back tomorrow night. Gators got to go. 6 outs to work with. 3 home runs have put a hurting on him thus far. And here's Falby in what may be the last time through for the top of the lineup.
Yeah, this feels like the game. And they have 6 outs to work with, but this is their offense. This has been a bulk of what they've done. Start with All-American Falby right here at the top.
She has not reached base once in a game all season, and she's 0 for 2. Has not been aboard yet today.
A couple of ground outs to Mia Scott.
Scott reaches for it, snags it, and fires to first.
And Scott has been perfectly positioned against Falby all day long, and they have pitched to this corner knowing that this is where Falby goes. Look at the way she's going to elevate at the right time. That is a snow cone, comes down, knows she's got to quickly get rid of it over to Jolie Mitchell. Excellent all the way around by Mia Scott. Third time that Falby has grounded out to Scott, and Kavan obviously loving her third baseman.
That's against one of the fastest players in the country, and Mia Scott got up in the air, riding on the G5, G5, G5 in your scorebook against Falby.
This is the 5th ground out to Mia Scott in this game.
Schumacher and legs it out, safe at first.
This is the beauty of being a left-handed hitter. Swinging bunt, but she legs it out, just barely gets the front of the bag. Tip of her toe.
Well, the National Freshman of the Year has some speed, is a threat down there at first, 18 of 19 if she chooses to swipe. And the big swingers are coming up. Reagan Walsh, 3, 4, and 5. They are looking at it to make sure she was safe at first, or whether or not they got to reverse the call.
I don't think they're going to do it.
Let's see if it hit her outside the batter's box. No.
First base number 15, Reagan Walsh.
Ball. Reagan Walsh, a ground out and a strikeout today for the senior from Redondo Beach, playing with so much confidence. Loves being on this big stage. She's here for the 3rd time. She told us yesterday her mentality is simple. You are not gonna beat me. And that's her thought every time she steps in there. Ground ball to short. They'll get one over to first. Mitchell with the stretch and a double play. All Longhorns so far in all 3 phases in a 3-0 lead.
Well, the defense for Texas getting it done for Kavan in the circle. It's going to be good to Bennett, over to Mitchell for that double play. 26th of the year. Kavan loving what the D's doing behind her.
College World Series is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? And in part by McDonald's.
So far, plenty to celebrate for Texas. They've got the 3-0 lead heading to the 7th. 42 wins in a row when leading by 3+ runs dating back to 2010. 3 solo home runs, 2 of them off the bat of Jolie Mitchell. And here in the top of the 7th, Mia Scott, Reese Atwood, and then Mitchell to face Olivia Miller, who is the 3rd pitcher of the day for Florida. In the bottom of the 7th, it will be the heart of the Florida order with their last chance. Winner gets the day off tomorrow, plays Saturday. Loser has to turn right around and play tomorrow night. And that's the easiest out that Reagan Walsh will ever record. 1 down.
Olivia Miller's just been outstanding since coming in, facing these lefties for Texas.
Now here come the righties.
Yeah.
There goes Olivia. Yeah. Fourth pitcher of the day coming in.
Oops. Whoopsie.
Back for the right-handers to face Florida after this.
We've waited so long.
The Women's College World Series heats up.
Back here at Devon Park in the Women's College World Series, the opener of day one. And Caitlin Oxley is the fourth Florida pitcher making her NCAA tournament debut, the freshman out of Bartow, Florida. And she'll face Reese Atwood. Big AB here, I would think, for Reese moving forward. She has struck out twice today.
Yeah, she has not been reactionary. It looks like she's been guessing, anticipating.
How great is it that Texas can have, you know, their best power hitter in the history of the school be cold in this game? You know, 2 strikeouts, and have the hitters behind her pick her up.
Infield pop-up and unable to track that down is Cahalan.
Well, Reese right now is not identifying the slow pitches, the off-speed, right? That's a 52-mile-an-hour pitch, and you can just tell that she's in front of it. She's off-timed, off-balance.
Stay here.
Down in the dirt. Atwood, during the regular season series, did hit a home run off of Caitlin Oxley. Texas took 2 or 3 in Gainesville in their SEC debut. Hey guys, welcome. Welcome to the team. And now go down to Gainesville and play them.
Yeah, that was a tough opening weekend.
And they sent a message. The addition of Texas and Oklahoma strengthening what had been for years the deepest conference in softball. You see Mike saying, hey, take a deep breath.
Yeah. I always hate it when coaches told me that. I'm trying.
Fights off the changeup there.
And that's a good adjustment.
It is.
She recognized that one a little bit more, especially off of the rise ball, the pitch before.
Yeah, she fouled it off back into the right instead of being early left side foul.
Atwood golfs that one out to left. Corby Otis is under it. 2 down. Let's take a look at our Capital One rewarding performance ×2. Jolie Mitchell, yeah, we see you. That was the first one that went out. And then, well, let's do it again.
On 2 different pitches. How about that? One's up and in. The next one low and away, showing off all strengths, all parts of the plate. No doubter to left, and then just clearing. Kendra Falby, by the way, I mean, we have seen her rob so many home runs. We talked about it earlier. That one was off her glove.
Yeah.
She's going to have nightmares about that. You saw her throw her glove down, too, afterwards. She was mad.
And she was on point and on time. I mean, that's inches away from being caught and out versus a home run.
Live, I thought she had it.
Yeah.
I thought she caught it.
I did too, Jess. I thought she was going to do it again.
And by the way, most outfielders don't even get themselves into position to make that catch. So I'm just going to say that.
Yeah.
Kendra Falby, so good. But she will definitely be up at night wishing she brought that back in.
Game of inches.
Oh.
Wow. Mitchell, a swing and a miss.
She was trying to send that one to the zoo. That's across the street.
Changeup 54 miles an hour.
That's why Mike White called timeout. Like,
Yeah.
okay, let's reel it in. I know you got 2.
Let's not get greedy.
Or get greedy, but just
See the change.
see the pitch first. Then get greedy.
Okay, just some intrigue for you. There has never been, in 43 years of the World Series, a player hit 3 home runs in a game.
Wow.
So, a little drama. 3-2 pitch. Mitchell, not going to happen this time around. Holtorf fighting the sun. Ironically, the last one to hit 2 in the game was Florida's Skylar Wallace. Last chance for the Gators as we head to the bottom of the 7th. On dirt, and last time to pick up the bats for the Florida Gators. Just 2 hits off of Tegan Cavan so far today. That matches their lowest hit total of the season, as Cavan has shut them out through 6. But here come the big Gator bats, 4, 5, and 6, with a chance to tie it or walk it off. First day of our double elimination format. 42 years of playing the Women's College World Series, 90% of the national champions won their first game of the tournament. And only 4 in 4 decades have lost their opener and come all the way through the loser's bracket to win a title. Here's Josie Erickson. Cavan has done this with just 1 strikeout today. Defense backing her up.
She has been on point. Her mechanics are good. Her pitch count, she's still in the 80s here in the 7th inning. I mean, that has just been outstanding.
Pitch to contact. I mean, as much as we love the strikeouts for these pitchers, she's only got 1.
Yeah, 11 ground outs, 6 flyouts, just the 1 strikeout.
Erickson lifts that out to shallow left, and Stewart is there. And Texas is 2 outs away from a win. That'll bring up Corby Otis. Jolie Mitchell over there to talk with Cavan. There is a ton of experience around Tegan. She said that was critical. You know, she has been on a bit of a roller coaster ride late in the season, even in the Super Regionals. A couple of rough starts, a fabulous relief appearance.
Yes.
And she said, I need the eyes of my defense around me to show me confidence. They did it against Clemson. And a ton of support, as Holly reported earlier after their infield meeting. Communication and celebrating each other's success was the most important thing that they had to improve.
Well, and not being, you know, really getting outside their comfort zones, not being selfish. I mean, Leanne Good moving back to that shortstop position, Katie Bennett going back to second base, Katie Stewart going back to left field. I mean, changes late in the season. And Cavan herself working on her mechanics to get more in control of her pitches, command and control, to be able to have both of those.
Everyone that's been here before will tell you this is the start of a whole new season at the World Series. Whole new ball game. And Texas certainly has a new mentality. Full count here. No free passes in the last 4 innings for Tegan. Remember last year against Texas, a run rule 10-0 shutout. During the regular season this year, only shut out twice. Nice barehanded catch. It's a Tennessee fan.
They're
Ready to roll. They got next against Oklahoma. Carlin, Pickens, Sam Landry.
Wow.
Oh, baby.
I'm so impressed with Tegan Kavan. She's not trying to miss the bat, she's trying to miss the barrel. And it's a difference. It's a difference in how she's honed in on her pitches to pitch more to contact. She's been a strikeout pitcher all year, but she's struggled because she's trying to be perfect. Right now, she's just trying to miss the fat part of the bat.
9th pitch of this at-bat coming. Induces another roller. 1 out away for Texas. And it will come down to Ava Brown for Florida. A walk and a fly out to right for Ava. Right over the heart of the plate, 0-1.
Still hitting 70 right now, too. I mean, Kavan is feeling it.
Yeah, and a little more rise ball here later in the game after being a lot of down earlier in the game.
Tegan's looking to end it. 1 strike away. To Scott at third, and a ground out to end it. A masterpiece for Tegan Kavan, the 2-hit shutout, and a 2-home run day for Jolie Mitchell. 3-0 Texas, and they advance in the winner's bracket. Florida will have to come back quickly and play tomorrow to stay alive.
How great of news for Texas in this offense that it wasn't the top 4. That's who had been doing it all throughout the regular season, but the heroes were Jolie Mitchell and Katie Stewart down in the middle of the order.
Yeah, Tegan Kavan, how about rolling 13 ground balls, 7 flyouts, just the 1 strikeout. I mean, just an outstanding afternoon in the